So my vocation story starts out, I was born into a Catholic family, and we would go to Sunday Mass, but if we went on vacation or camping, we would miss Mass. But all that changed when my brother was diagnosed with cancer in 2005, and we didn't miss Sunday Mass after that. And it really drew our family closer to God, and our family grew closer as well. And then high school hit, and I always pursued sports when I was a kid, and in high school I really pursued them. And I was in cross country, and my senior year is coming around, and I was hoping for a great year to get a college scholarship, because I always wanted to do a college sport. But that summer I broke my ankle, and those plans were changed, so I just went to a public university my first year at college, and I took up another sport, cycling, during the healing process to get my ankle stronger. And so I decided, well, maybe the next year I'll go to a different college and pursue cycling. But then I got another injury cycling, so then I pursued one more sport, basketball. And during college I was like, well, I could try out next year if I try hard enough. But then I got another injury. So the Lord was telling me, like, yeah, I don't want you to do sports anymore, I want you to do something else. But I thought that, well, I'm missing out on the college experience, so I'll move on campus. So the second year of college, I moved on campus of the public university, and I got into the college life. I'll go to Saturday Mass at like 5 p.m. so I could stay up as late as I wanted to party and sleep in that Sunday morning. And then the friends that I had at the public university kind of fell out that summer, and I found out they weren't true friends. So I had three options. I could stay at home, I could do my freshman year of college and just take classes, or I could try to mend the relationship with those friends at the public university, or I could transfer to the University of Mary. So I talked with the parish priest, and he really had a gut feeling that I should transfer to UMary, since I told him my three options. And I was praying about this for a couple weeks at that point, and I wasn't hearing anything, and really doubtful. And driving home, I didn't have the radio on, and I thought, well, maybe Catholic radio would have something. So the first thing I hear on Catholic radio is the University of Mary, and it was just a sign from God right there that I needed to transfer. And the really cool thing about it was that they were talking about virtuous men living in a community and striving and growing in holiness together. And it was something that I thought was appealing, and just to learn more about the Catholic faith, because I went to CCD as a kid, but for an hour a week, and I didn't get much out of it, and I wasn't like on fire for the faith. So then when I transferred, I decided not to date my first semester. Father Waltz actually got me in a discernment group on campus, and the first meeting was that night, and I thought, well, this is just for guys that are going to the priesthood. I don't need to go. But he knocked on my door, since I lived in St. Joe's, which is a hall for men who are striving to grow in holiness and virtuous lives together, and he also lives up there. But he knocked on my door, and he's like, hey, you coming to the meeting? And I'm like, no, that's just for priests and stuff. He's like, no, it's for every vocation. So I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So that meeting was the first night I thought about the priesthood, and it's the first time I learned that you had to ask the Lord what your vocation was, not just choosing it, because I thought I was just called to marriage my whole life because I wanted a family, I wanted a wife. But I thought I'll give that semester to give the Lord a chance to see where it would go. The priesthood, I was having little signs here and there, but when they would come around, I got pretty fearful about them, because someone would say, hey, you look like you could be a seminarian or a priest. I'd be like, oh, I'm not ready for that yet. But then I was interested in the seminary, and I loved learning about Jesus and the church, and I really learned more about the Catholic faith when I went, since I didn't get much knowledge when I was at CCD as a kid. But then I had the awesome opportunity in my second year to be going to Rome in the fall on a pilgrimage with my family and our parish. And then the second semester I went to Rome through the University of Mary. And they were just awesome times for discernment, and really grew in my faith there. But after a month and a half of being, actually 2 months in Rome, there was about 2 weeks there where the priesthood was really calling my name. The Lord was really revealing it to me that I needed to go to seminary. And this is when I went to Assisi in Italy for a couple days with the seminarians. They had a chaplaincy team with 2 priests. We spent a weekend there, and we got there and checked out St. Francis of Assisi's tomb, and I just knelt down, and everything I could think about and feel was the priesthood. And I didn't really know what to do right then about it, but it was really on my heart, and I was burning with the priesthood. And the Lord was trying to tell me, like, you need to go to seminary. And then I was talking with the seminarian during dinner, one of our dinners, and he told his vocation story. And he said that he really thought of seminary as like 7 years. It's like a lot of time and commitment to go. And someone told him, just give it a year, give it, a semester, give it a shot, discern each year, see how it goes. Like, it's not going to hurt you to go and check it out. You're going to be a better man either way, if you go or not, or if you go. So he did, and I talked with him further about it, and it was just time to call Father Waltz. I called him from Assisi, and we had a good chat, and he said that he could see it in me that first year at U Mary that I needed to go to seminary, but he wanted me to find it out on my own. And I started filling out the applications once I got done with the semester, and I just really, with the priesthood, I want to bring people to Christ, and I want to help people and just lead them to Jesus Christ, who is the divine healer.